Hello. Hello. Pretty much ready. Give me a second, but pretty much there. Yep. I think everything is ready. So I'm just checking few additional things, but I think we are good. Yep, we can start. We can start. Hello, good day, good evening, wherever you are, and welcome to another stream of Plane Shift. So today I want to go back to factions, and in particular to the faction items. I mean, we developed the new functionality for the game masters to actually set advanced properties on items, including the scripts and the ability, for example, to be attacked and other stuff like that, which was very good. I really needed that for this phase, and that's why I stopped on factions and then I started on the GM stuff. But now that we have the GM stuff done, I think we can go back to factions again. Sorry. So if you remember, this was the plan, right, for the different things, and we did a discount in prices, we did the unique items, we did this part, which is the overall discount displayed in the buy and sell window. We did this, which is basically if you are too low on score on a particular faction, you get a refusal from the NPC to trade or to bank or to store items. And the only one that was missing, well, there is this one and this one, but let's say this one is a bit future looking, so maybe we will do it in the future. But this one is kind of relevant because we will have faction buildings sooner or later. And when we have the faction buildings, I would like to have inside the faction building specific items that are accessible only to faction members, right? And to do that, I need to think about how to do it, right? But the idea would be that you have a validation script, right, which is on the object, which is basically what we have exposed the last time, right? This part. So we have a script can toggle and we have a script on toggle, and basically these two are determining if you can use the item, and if you use it, what happens, right? So I think that is yeah, that is pretty much so what we need to think is, hello Hula, hey, I didn't start the chat thingy. What we have to think is how to activate it, right? Because at the moment in game you can activate stuff by right clicking and then use, right? And I'm reasoning on, is this what I want or not, right? Is this what I want? I mean, do we want to activate it that way, or do we want to activate it in a different way. This is something I need to think about. And also, I think I will have to put an item on the ground. Okay, let me reason a bit on this. So the items of the faction of those buildings, could be, could be services like removing poisons, instant heal, instant mana refill, and things like that, right? Those would be very easy to do. Those would be very easy to do. Because basically it's a script that is just working on your basic skills and stats, so it should be very easy. For example, bookshelves, right? Bookshelves in terms of stuff that you can access only if yeah, this would be a container, so I need basically a container a container that you can open only if, right? Which actually we have it in the trap properties. We have it in the trap properties. Yeah, but it is not exactly, because if I say that I think we need to transfer. We need to. Yeah. I think I know what I need to do. I think we need to add an additional check on the opening of all containers. Let me go. No, I don't want to be here. I don't want to be here. I want to be. I want to be in the main city, right? I'm in the main area of the city. So where we will have our test stuff for the faction. Let's say that, I mean, we already have some stuff around here. Why there are these two flying chests? No idea. I want to keep all stuff pretty close, right, so that I don't go crazy. Okay, that was the test I was doing on it. I think we can have it. I think we can have it here. Okay. So it's fairly close to the main spawn point. So, and again, this is the dummy database, right? So this is nothing to do with the real game. This is everything you see is just. I mean, the buildings are the same, but the items and the locations obviously are not. So. So I think what I want to have. What I want to have. And I don't think the item should be locked, right? I think the item should be. Let me just reduce slightly this description, because we just did a test to see how long the description could have been, but no, I don't need that. Hello, Fanner. So, yep. I don't know why the name. Why the name changed? think if I leave it empty, it should get his base name, no? Yeah, exactly. It does. It's not automatically updated. Yeah, it's not automatically updated. I have to basically pick it up and drop it again to update the name, but I think it's for now it's fine. For now it's not a problem. Okay. So basically at the moment, the only way we can prevent the opening of this chest, right, is yeah, I think we have a, I think I have an issue though, because script can toggle, right? Script can toggle. This script can toggle could be check that you have, you know, enough strength, or check that you have whatever, right? Or you have enough factions. But considering that this item is not an interactable, right? Is not an interact. So, or I make an item interactable that is actually a container, right? That you can open. And so the toggle will actually toggle the... Yeah, the problem is that visually, I mean, for the chest is kind of okay. We could in theory play I mean, an animation of the lid of the chest opening, but if you think to a bookcase, right? What is the what is the meaning of a bookcase that you cannot access? I mean, it should be locked, right? It should be. I think we have a logical issue here. I think we have a logical problem. Because this blue section, right, works only for interactable objects, right? And in particular, so if I go under interactable actor, right, interactable actor, you know, interactable actor as this guy, right? And these are properties, right, that are exposed in interactable actor. An interactable actor is a child of PS item actor. But this basically means that
time to get serious.
hey, yeah, it's a serious issue. It is. It's not an easy one because it's not an easy one. So at the moment, we have, you know, interactable, right? We have PS item actor, right? And this is derived from that. Then inside the PS item actor, right, as a piece of it, so there is like a small piece here, right, which is actually PS item, right, which is PS item. And PS item is the one that is actually keeping pretty much all of our item characteristics, right? Now on PS item actor we have a bit, on interactable we have a bit more, and those has been designed for the previous needs. I mean, for the needs that I had at the time. So for example, an interactable is a lever, right? Or is a gate that can be opened, or is a pressure pad, right? These are the interactable, while and more, right? So in reality, and more. The PS item actors are pretty much everything else. I mean, including lever, gate, and pressure pad, but I mean, a sword, a sword on the ground, right, is a PS item actor. PS item instead is basically everything. I mean, these keeping all the properties of the sword. So these are like the PS rules, right? The PS rules of the sword, right? Like how much damage it does, how much blocking effect it does, how much it weights, how much, right? So it is contained in there. So at the moment the problem and this can be containers or normal items. So a bookshelf can be a PS item. If it's on the ground, is a PS item actor and such, right? And in theory, if it's interactable, sorry, if it's interactable, it will be here, right? If there is a lever or something on the bookshelf that, I don't know, if the bookshelf like flips, no, right, horizontally and like, but yeah, so that's pretty much the thing. Now on interactable, unfortunately, I have the script. Can toggle. Why I have it here? Well, I have it here because originally, let's say until yesterday, I would say, until last week, this was actually applicable only to interactable. So it wouldn't make any sense to have a can toggle on an item or a can toggle on a PS item, because today there is really no rule that says that an item can be toggled or not, right? So we have a keep condition. So certain items can be equipped only if you have a certain strength, for example, or a certain, right? So there is a yeah, exactly here, right? Item ID skill, item ID bonus, whatever. I think it's this one. Bonus, I don't remember if it's this bonus attributes or if it's but anyway, we have it there. I'm pretty sure that we have it there. I don't know why it's called max. I think it should be minimum, but not maximum. But anyway, fine. Item stats. Come on, you can do it. There is an item stats table for sure, at least I hope so. Yeah, there is. Yeah, item skill ID, right? Key into the skill table, the type of skill required to use this item. But actually, I think are these fields the one that are required? When he's telling you, you know, that you need more strength. Now finding it is not very easy. But whenever you are trying to equip an item, he's telling you there is something that is checking the conditions, right? Check requirements, there it is. Base stats, get requirements. You need to have blah blah blah. Yeah, exactly, right? So this get requirements. This get requirements is coming from where? Set requirements. Wow. Probably because it's done on loading, I assume. What the hell? There is no load. Is here. Is read item stats. Requirement. Exactly. Requirement name. So it's another one, eh? It's not this. Requirement. Ah, here it is. Requirement name, requirement value. Okay, so it's another. Is this. Requirement name, requirement value. So these requirements are the ones that are saying, like you need more strength. You need more strength, you know, to. You need more strength to use this item, right? But we have it in this form. We don't have it in a. We don't have it. In a script form, because the only script that we have are the keep script, which may work, but in reality this one is how much. This one is definitely consume script. So actually we don't have a way to toggle this item, yes or no, right? We don't. I would be interested to know what are these bonus attributes. I don't even know if we are still using them. Attribute bonuses. Maybe we do, but okay. Anyway, let's not diverge from our mission. So today, for example, if there is a chest, we don't have a script that is telling me if I can open the chest, right? If I can look at the chest. There is no such capability. The only possibility would be to have a toggle function, so making it as an interactable object, and then say that my that my toggle, right, is calling. In this case, we'll have to call the server side. It must be a container, and you must toggle like the server side. But it is kind of different. So one thing is a chest, one thing is I think a chest is one thing, right? But like a bookshelf, you know, will be different. Well, in theory, it's the same. Well, no, it's very similar because a bookshelf will be anyway a container. For the game, is seen as a container, right? It's not that you're gonna pick every book. You know, it's not that you're gonna click on every book, right? That is here. You are clicking on the container, and then on the container I mean, you see the content. Basically, you see the content, right? So you use it this way. So another thing would be if we have I don't know, a pedestal with a magical, no, a pedestal with like a magical thingy on top, right? And that pedestal is usable only by guild members, right? So also this one is a problem, right? This one is also a problem because because how do I add the right click use, right? How do I add the right click use on this thing? In theory, if it's in theory, if it's a container, we automatically get the use, right? Because, and if it's consumable, we automatically get the use. So these are the two ways that we have a use icon pop up. So when I right click, you see that I get the use icon because it's trying to use it as a crafting container. So what I'm debating in my mind, is, should I add because, for example, this one is easy, right? This one can be an interactable. If this is an object that has, for example, a particle effect, and that particle effect is triggered, right, randomly, that would be fairly easy. I'm thinking, boys. I don't have a clear solution in my mind because these are very different things. There is basically a closed container, visually closed, and so you can say, oh yes, you need to open the lid, whatever, you need to open this, right? And so it makes sense that it blocks you access to the content. This is like an open container where you have the books, and this is a bit more of a problem, right? Because one may say, why I cannot access the books, right, if they are visible? So we make a visually closed, or it would look a bit stupid that you cannot really access that, but it's okay. I mean, we can live with that. Like, I mean, it's not great, but we can live with the fact that you cannot access the books if you are not part of the faction or whatever, if you don't have a certain score or whatever. And this one is the simplest because this one can be done right now with an interactable. So, or I make all these objects interactable and I make them for it because I have a few interactable, simple interactable objects, right? Like the particle interactable, or there is a light interactable. It's just on and off, right? Do I have a generic interactable? That is a good question. Do I have a generic interactable that is doing nothing else than calling the can toggle and the on toggle without doing anything? I don't think I do, but we can make it. We can make a very simple. Can make a very simple interactable object. I don't need this anymore. So if I go under blueprints, right? Blueprints interactable. Here are all our interactable, and we have doors, we have pressure pads, you know, we have traps, interactable static button. What is this? Is linking. Interactable sliding, interactable sliding multi-state, interactable rotator, interactable proximity, interactable particle. Interactable container. What is this? Interactable container. Interactable container. But doesn't have anything, right? I think it's not used by anything at the moment. No, let me see. Yes, it's used by the pedestal, where we did the example of. Okay. So, but wait a second. Yeah, because this guy could be good actually. Arcane pedestal. Arcane pedestal. Yeah, you see this is completely empty. It's completely empty because in reality the properties that we are setting on this are the contained items. So what you have to put on the pedestal to actually activate. And then we place the so I think that now interactable container. Interactable container. Interactable container. I think this is our guy, by the way. This is our guy. Okay, let me think about it 1 second. So let's say that I create let's say that I create a new item, right, in the database, and I call it faction faction container, right? And this means that I will have to I would like to do it in dummy database though. I would like to do it in the dummy database. All these ideas are taken already. Yeah, it will be a bit of a mess understanding where to put these items, but yeah. There's no way for me to. $170. Okay, 170 is available. Okay, so we can create. It must be a it must be a base faction item, yes, because. Can it be just an item instance? No, it needs to be a base. It needs to be. Yeah, it needs to be. Now I can take any container, right? So, for example, the chest. Let's take the chest, right? Let's take the chest, right? The chest is fine. The chest is fine. So I duplicate this, and this one becomes. And this one becomes a faction chest. And then we will change the name, okay? But it's just to recognize it. So there will be a faction chest. So everything else is fine, except that we are gonna use the container being this interactable container, right? So I will. I don't remember if I need a script engine blueprint or I just need blueprint. I don't remember that. I think I probably now I think it probably is probably working both ways. And all the rest for now we don't care, right? Just care that it's spawnable. Okay, so we have our faction chest, which is actually pointing to an interactable container. The question is, do I apply? Name like no, I don't have it here. So faction chest. Now for now we will have the wrong icon, but it's okay. Because we cannot really change the mesh, right? No, we can change the mesh only. Yeah, that's annoying though. Because it means that I need, I cannot change the mesh on the fly. I need to create an, so yeah, at that point would be easier probably to just create it in the editor. Yeah, probably. We can. There's no limit to the number of blueprints, so we can create 100,000 is fine. I mean, we will not, but so this chest is not really good because it is not is a non-interactable. But if I spawn a faction chest, right? Which yeah looks like this because we didn't change the mesh yet, right? So this thing is actually an interactable. You see that I have use, right? And now use is not doing anything because we don't have anything in can toggle and on toggle, right? The only problem I have is that I can actually look into the chest. I can move items into the chest even if the script is even if the script is there, right? While I would like, I think, to prevent you from opening the chest if the script can toggle is on, right? So do we want to do it this way or not? Do we want to do it so that the script can toggle of interactable is actually preventing the opening of the container? Or do we want to have a separate field that is dedicated to opening the container, right? I think will actually be pretty cool to have to have a separate field. You know why? Because I'm thinking, imagine you are in a dungeon, right? You are in a dungeon and I have a chest that is R to open. R to open meaning that you can brute force it, right? And maybe I say if you don't have enough strength, you know, you cannot open it. Or if you don't have enough intelligence, you know, you cannot open it because there is a puzzle on it or whatever, a mechanism, right? So I think it may have multiple uses. It may have multiple uses. So I think it would be good to have a script can open container. And that script can open container can be not just on interactable, but can also be in your inventory, right? At the moment we only have the lock, so if it's locked, you cannot open it. But we don't have this capability of do we want it? I think I want it. The only issue I have is that if it's generic enough, if it's a function that is generic enough, because then the next thing would be, oh, but then also for potions, you know? Also for potions, if you don't have a specific stat, then you cannot use it or something, right? So can it be generic enough that, or is only on containers? Or is only on containers? Or is only on containers? I think on containers is good. I cannot see any big drawback if I add a script. Script can open. And it can be a progression script. That means that with a progression script, we can also send a message to the client telling him what happened and why he cannot do it, right? So we can say if that particular faction is not enough, you cannot open it. And that will work anyway, also in your inventory, which I think is pretty cool because we may use it also for... yeah, I think it's a good capability. Now I don't know exactly how much we will use it and how yet, but I think it's a good capability. So I think we need a script on PS item. It needs to be on PS item. Huh? Yeah, it needs to be on PS item. So PS item includes PS item will include a PS item actor and interactable, because these are all they are all part of the same schema, right? So if I put it here, I will also see it on interactable and on PS item actor. Now, do you think it should be inside trap properties? Do you think it should be inside trap properties? Because actually trap properties is pretty much already doing that, but just from the point of view of the trap, right? And so I could just add a field here. But this will kind of break the logic, right? Yeah, it will kind of break the logic. I think it will kind of break the logic. So what does it mean? It means that I need another script in item stats. So I need to change item stats. And I need to add a new, which is fairly annoying, but I think it's okay. Do we have any of these fields that we are actually now using, or like, for example, the spell ID on hit? What the fuck is this? Spell ID on hit. I think we never used this. What is spell ID on hit? Spell ID on hit. There's no documentation. It's not explained. Spell ID on hit. I think I know what is it, but I think at the end we did it in a different way. Because at the end we did it with the scripts. We didn't do it with this capability. Let me just see where this is used actually. Do I still have the client open? Yeah, I still have the client open. We don't need it. Spell ID on hit. Copy item stats. This one is a bit risky, huh? This one is risky because I changed the field and I didn't. Ah no, I did on item instances. Well, but potentially it's the same mess. Copy item stats. No, it's not item stats. Okay. Current project, right? You see? This part is absolutely not used. The original idea was that we would be using this attribute to say what happens when your weapon is hitting an enemy. Sorry, and if he's triggering a spell, right, like a flaming sword, that it would trigger a flame attack, you know, on the enemy. But we don't do this. We don't do it this way anymore. We do it with scripts that are actually on attack, on defense. And those are set, those are the equip scripts, right? Those are the equip scripts on the weapon, which is a much better way of doing this. It's a bit slower, but this is on the equip script. So I think that all this spell stuff is completely unused at the moment. I think it's completely unused. So we can reuse one of these fields, just delete it and... Yeah, I think we should. I can check in the old code if for whatever reason, right, it was used, but okay, let me check it just for, you know, to be 100% sure, but I think the answer is no. I think the answer is absolutely not. This is something that is there, was added a million years ago and was never used. Then we did it differently. Entire solution, right? There, we know already. Here, we know already. Here, we know already. Here, we know already. And that's it. So all of that is completely useless at the moment. It's not used. It's not used. I think even the charges is completely useless. This code was added very, very long time ago, probably at the beginning of the project, right? And was never actually used. So we can remove it. Well, I mean, we can reuse that field, right? And we can also check if in the database, you know, there is any item that is actually having that field filled in, but I think the answer is no again. So this spell ID on hit, right? You see, is 0. Absolute 0. Yeah. Okay, so that's good because we have all these fields that are completely unused, right? So we can take one of them, like the last one. We can eat them from the bottom here, like look. So we can start to reuse this guy, and this guy will become our can open container script. Now the question may be, do we want to have a can open container and an open container script, like that something happens when you open it, or like that something happens when you open it, or we just want to have a can open. I think at the moment I just want to have a can open. I don't care. And we can call it script can open container, right? Which I think is clear enough. Script can open container, right? So now I don't know if I want to call it can use, but the problem of can use, that yes, it can be applicable also to other stuff, I think is I think it may be abused, right? It may be abused. I mean, should I make it generic on use? But if I make it generic on use, I can call it script can use, right? And then it means that can be applicable, for example, to a potion. Or it can be applicable to a weapon, right? So that the weapon can, but on the equip, you know, we already have a script with requirements, right? So and we already have, right, the can toggle, right, which is this one. I'm really tempted to make it generic, so to say can use, right? Can use. But I don't know exactly the implications with all our database and all our items, where it will be applicable, where it will not be applicable. Like, can you use a glyph? Can you use a torch? Can you use, I don't know, a t-shirt? Can you use a weapon? Can you use, you know, so can you use a book? Can you use, so, but in theory, yes, because also a book, you know, we can have the same thing, right? So you may not open a book, right, unless a certain condition is, for example, I don't know, is a cursed book that works only in certain conditions, and yeah, probably yes. We can say that for now is used for containers, the demand conditions to open it, but maybe in the future is more than that, right? Okay. I think, yeah, I think is probably a better idea. I think it's probably a better idea to keep it generic like that. So this becomes what? So this will be a progression script. This will be a progression script. So this means that I have to go here and change the schema, right? And this tank changes his name. And we have this alter table that I have to keep into my upgrade scripts. Right. Wait. It cannot be an integer though. It must be a varchar 100 whatever. Varchar 100. Do we want to have the name of the script or do we want to have? Well, it's the same. It's actually the same. I think it would be also nice to have the script directly into the field. That's a good point. Right. Okay, we changed it. We changed it. We changed it. Okay, so now this thing needs to be managed, right? Okay, so now we have this. Now we have this guy. And so this will become an F string. Huh? Right. So now that we have it, what do we need to do? We need, whenever the item is loaded, we need to check. Yeah, you know what though? I think that we can directly have a mat script in the PS item, in the PS item stats. I think it will be the same as, I mean, yeah, it will be a string in the database, but actually here, I think it will be the same as I must have an keep script. Right? Applicative script. A keep script. But I think that a keep script is a keep script. Yeah, exactly. Identical. Exactly identical to this guy. Exactly identical to this guy. Exactly identical to this guy. Exactly identical to this. Can Visual Studio do it or no? Cannot do it. Yeah, exactly. So this will become right. So we read it as a string, but we load it what? Ah, because in this case is okay. I see. Um, Yeah, it's parsed, but I don't know when though. It's parsed later on. So we save the name and then we parse it later? Why? Don't understand. We parse it later, eh? Consume. Ah, okay. So we just do a find in Progression Manager. We just do a find and then we launch it. Yeah, kind of. Well, yeah. I wanted to have a kind of a double use. I mean, that it could be just the string referencing an existing progression script, or you can really have the full progression script inside it. But I think that for now, for now, having it as an existing script, I think is okay. You know what is the problem is that we may have a number of items in the guild, and each one may require a different well, we can trick it with quality or something. Ah, we have the mean faction now. Yeah, we can use the mean factions. Yeah. Oh my god, that's so mind-blowing. Yeah, we can use the new mean faction attribute that we have to actually determine if you want the faction score. So the script the script can be always the same, just the faction score is changing, right? That is actually pretty good. That is actually pretty good. Yeah. Okay, yeah. I'm trying to parse into my mind, what the hell I have to do, but I think I understand what I have to do. So we leave it. So in PS item, we actually leave it as a string. We actually yeah, we actually leave it as a string, and we read it as a string. right? And we read it as a string. And then we just find an existing script. Yeah, that's a good plan. That's a good plan. So what I need to do now, so I have it in my object, is loaded in. I need to check if that exists. Well, in theory would be nice would be nice to check if that script actually exists, right? But like if it's specified, I think it would be the same with the consume script. I don't know if we do it with the consume script, but I think it would be a good idea to do it though. I mean, it's true that we have to find it twice, but no, we don't do it at all. We don't freaking care. So there is no validation that, okay, fine. There's no validation today that the item can actually operate. I think the reason is that the items are loaded before the progression script, so. Yeah. Okay, so now that we have this, I mean, for the container, it's fairly easy because basically now that I have this, yeah, there is this send container content, right? Send container content. So no, view item. Yeah, exactly. View item, right? Because it's when I'm viewing the item, and it can be a container. So now when I'm here, right? Now when I'm here, I can do the same thing. Now the only question would be, which variable we need, right? Well, we need the actor. We need the actor. And I guess we need the item. So basically, I mean, it's not all of this, but I just copied it because I'm lazy. Get script. Let's call it the same, otherwise. get script can use, right? So we can check if this is not empty, right? If this is not empty, then we will find this script. This will be obviously a problem. I mean, if this happens, means that something bad happened. I mean, we continue anyway, I guess, or no? We continue anyway, or no? I don't know. I think we can. No, I think we will return. I mean, if there is a script that is mentioned, but it actually does not exist, I think we return so that the item doesn't open and we understand that we have an issue. So I would do it this way. So wait. So I think we define what? We define the client. We define the client to be the actor. And we define the item, right? Which is our fuck. We don't have it. No, we don't have it here. What? It is us. Is us. Is this? Is this? Yeah, exactly. And then we just run the script, right? We just run the script, and this script this script should provide no, my lord, come on, serious, we are still using that shit. Okay, we are still using that shit. What? Bro, it's correct. Wow. Now sometimes there's 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. Yeah, exactly. So the result of this script, right? This is only if we have a non-empty script, right? So So I think the result can be, yes, you can open it, no, you cannot open it. I think we just need to decide a variable. Hopefully we can use the same theory that we used in other progression events. Let me see, I hope we have a convention for this. Maybe we don't. Maybe we don't. Let me see. If we have a convention, nah, seems we don't. I think we need to set a variable of some kind, and we need a let. We need something like a let var, and then we need to read that var as a result. I think so. I think we can let var can use. Okay, let's do this. Evaluate result can use variable, right? So to read the result of that progression event, I don't remember. Absolutely, I don't remember how to do it. But we can see it, for example, in PS attack. In PS attack. In PS attack. In PS attack. Wait. What the hell? Is he oh my god. Environment, blah 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 blah. Bro, wait. Attack result, right? Is this one? Attack result. Okay, calculate attack. Is here. Is here, is here, is here, is here, is here. I think it's called lookup something. Lookup probably, but I don't remember. Damn it. Yeah, lookup, here it is. Here it is. So, okay. So that is what we need. That is what we need. So basically, we can say that, right? If the result of that is less than 1, we cannot use it, right? We cannot use it. We cannot use it. Okay. Cannot use it. So now, what does this mean? This means that in our world, right, we need to create a new script that will be called faction check. I don't know if we already have a faction something, but I don't think so. No, we don't. So here we create a new line, right? And we will call it faction can use, right? Which seems to be clear enough. And for now I will do something super simple and then we can elaborate more. But I will go can use sorry, can use equal to 1, right? And we don't need anything there. So this will just return 1 for now, right? So the parsing of that script will do nothing else than just return 1, right? So now so this actually needs to be added, needs to be added to, well, it will not be like that, but anyway, you get the point. It will not be like this, I know. So now we have our can use progression script, and then we can script as we wish, right? We can have more complex stuff. We can have if this happens, if that other happen, if, you know, if the total faction is, right? So now we need an item, right? And we actually added that item. It was what? 700? I don't remember. No, this is Kikiri meat. I don't remember what was it, but we added an item. There was faction chest, right? No? Wrong database? Yeah, wrong database. Here. Right. Ring of faction. What the hell is a ring of faction? Never seen it in my life. It's giving you faction points? What the heck? What is a ring of faction? Apply item debuff name orc faction names orc value 50. Yeah, in theory, yes. I'm giving you a thing. It's giving you a debuff though. Why a debuff? I don't think it's a debuff. I think it's a buff. Okay, I'm just fixing this. It has nothing to do with what we are doing, but we don't have an orcs faction, I guess. Here I should have all the new factions already. Yeah, exactly. Okay, good. Can I go back? Huh? No. Yeah, so we need a so now this faction chest, right? Will use this faction can use a script. Right? What the fuck? What? I think I need to refresh the data or. It's still an integer, this thing. No corresponding table column. Bro, if I said refresh. What? Okay, I guess I need to close it. I guess I need to close it. Fine. Okay. Now is using faction can use, right? So now our our chest is using this script, right? So now the only thing I can, yeah, I can spawn. Yeah. Okay, so let's recompile this, and we can run in debug mode just to see what is going on, because I don't think it will work maybe at the first run, but. Yeah, but at the moment it's very simple. It's only searching the script, right? It's only searching that script and applying it. One failed. Okay, it compiled. So if I run this and we open our client, right? And so now the script now the script is defined in the item stats. So actually it cannot be changed by cannot be changed by the GM edit script page. Yeah, that's kind of annoying. But anyway. Do we need it on item instances? I don't know. Yeah, maybe. I don't know. At the moment it's on item stats. I can still change it on the fly, but I cannot change it permanently because it's on the base stats. I think it's fine. For now, I think it's fine. What? We crashed? Okay. Operation let failed loading in script function calls with content. Failed to create my script let binding can use equal to 1. Invalid assignee. What the fuck does that mean? Invalid assignee? What? He's complaining that our script is not correct. Let var can use equal to 1. What is the difference between like... You cannot assign it to a value? No, I don't think so. Let var increment 5, right? So it's the same. What do you mean by assignee not? Maybe it's just missing the... No, it's not. Fuck. What do you mean? I don't understand. I don't understand why it doesn't read our script. He's saying invalid invalid assignee. What do you mean? Invalid assignee? Is upper assignee 0? What do you mean? We need to have an uppercase first letter? I mean, that's the problem, or why? What the hell is going on? He needs the first to be uppercase. I have no idea why. Is that is super weird, but okay. I can call it can use. Don't worry. I can call it can use. It's super weird, but fine. I have no problem with that. I have no problem with that. Okay, succeeded. Let's try again. And is it anyway good that he gave the error, meaning that, you know, he found the script and everything, but yeah. Do we get the free games of that? Yeah, we got them already. We got the free game for sure this time. You have it in my library already. I mean, always get the free games. You never know. Eh? Maybe one day you would play them. I don't know. The problem is the volume of games that are made, right? So I don't know how many games are built. I mean, are released every day, but I think it's so many. Between the free ones and non-free ones and browser games, and there's so freaking many. I think if you have to make video game as a job is so tough competition. So insanely tough competition. Okay, so we have our faction quest here now. Assuming it becomes day. Yeah, becoming day. So we have our faction chest now. So as soon as I'm trying to open it, we trigger our new code, right? And our new code is searching for the script, is running the script, and is getting... is getting a null value? That's bad. That is not good, huh? Scriptable variable. Probably I need to define it here and then return it. Yeah. But wait, but do we do the same when we Yeah, we do the same. We do the same. We define it up front. Yeah. We define it up. Okay. Good. We define it up front and we get it as a result. So, but wait a second though. I don't know. I think I'm stretching a bit the envelope here. because I think that this is not designed to work this way. But let's try. I cannot pass an integer. What the fuck? I cannot pass an integer? It must be a float. Okay, fine. It must be a float for whatever reason. So we don't have the integer basic type in the scripting. It's fine. We don't need it. We can go with a float. I don't know if that let var is actually putting the variable, but I don't know. I think it's defining a new one, unfortunately. I think it's defining a new one, but let's see. Maybe it is, maybe it's not. I have no idea. I don't remember, because in reality, we have two types of scripting. We have progression scripts and math scripts. And math scripts are the ones working directly on variables and giving you results, while the progression script are just executing a set of instructions, right? And usually they are not returning anything. So usually we don't want to have a return value out of a progression script, right? Unless, but we can, yeah. I can check maybe more. Yeah, with in theory we can also save. Yeah, but I would like to avoid. I would like to avoid setting a variable on the player to just get that result. I would like to be able to set a variable in the script, right? And I think the let vars is doing exactly that, but I'm not completely sure of it. Ah, we got it. Fantastic. We got it. The value is 1 and we set 0. So yeah, it works this way. Nice. Nice. It works. So in this case, we open the faction chest because that script that is set on the faction is saying that we can, right? And so now what we can do, right? What we can do something even more advanced than this. We can do something. We can do. This is good, huh? This is good. This is good because it means I can put a bookshelf, right, in the, right? But I need, okay, so now let's try to make our script smarter, right? Let's make our script smarter. Oh my god, there is a major problem. There is an insanely big problem, which is we don't know which faction to check for. No. We don't know. We don't know which faction to check for. I could check for a faction, but I don't know which one, because the item doesn't really belong to a faction. The item doesn't really have a faction. Oh my god. Mistakes were made. Oh my god. I mean, I can pass it as a parameter. Yes, I can, right? Like we do here. We say, you see that we say faction equal to parameter 0, right? So we get a parameter from the outside. And then we check if the player has that amount of faction. The problem is to determine which faction. So do you think that we need to have a script for every faction? I mean, we can have a script for every faction and then associated script to the. But if it was more parametric and dynamic, would have been much better, right? So how do we do that? How do we do that? Ay 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 ay. So the problem is. So the problem is that, you know, we have this faction chest, right? And we decided that this faction chest can be opened only based on a condition. And actually we now have a way to specify in the object here under item stats. We can say that that particular object, yes, this particular faction chest is a script that needs to be run, right, to actually check if it can be used or not, right? And it's item by item. Well, it's by item stats, which is fine. Now the problem is that I have two parameters that I need. One is the minimum faction, but the minimum faction I can get it pretty much from the item itself, because the item has a minimum faction value, right, on him. But it doesn't know which faction. He only has the minimum faction because we used it on NPC, and on NPC we said that, you know, the faction depends on the NPC. No, it doesn't depend on the item, right? Which is good, which is what we need. But here in this case, the item is on the ground, and the item doesn't know in which faction is it. He has no idea, because we cannot do it by. We cannot do it by coordinates. Yeah, doing it by coordinates super lame. Super lame. Well, I mean, I can have a different script for each. It's kind of annoying, but. I mean, I could have a faction applied knowledge can use, right? Faction applied knowledge can use, and right? Faction applied knowledge can use. So I can have a script like that, and this will work only for applied knowledge. I mean, it's a bit annoying because it means that we need to have one script for every faction, but I mean, it's okay. We have 20 factions, would be 20 scripts, and they are pretty much, you know, done once and forever. So I think it's reasonable. I think it's reasonable to say that the scripts are specialized by faction. I think it's okay. I think it's okay. So, okay, so let's try to understand how to do so basically I need an if I need an if then else, right? I need an if then else. I did an if then else, and this if then else is doing what? Is checking if the faction is equal to, in this case, applied knowledge, right? For example, and we check if the amount, right? If the amount is less than. For now, let's put just a hard-coded value, and then I will read it from the item, right? But reading from the item is a bit more complex. So I say that if I have this faction, blah blah blah, then we let var, right? And I hope I can do it this way. I'm not completely sure, but I think I can. So if it's less than 50, this will be 0, right? If it's more than 50, it will be 1, so it will be allowed. And in addition to this, we can also place, we can also send a message to the client, right? Because we can, there is a way, exactly, message, blah, 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 right? Message, blah, blah, blah. So we can say message, I think we called it actor, we didn't call it target, but I think it's okay. Type error, okay. And we can say you don't have permission from the faction to open this item. Right? Or to view this, to view this item, or to view, or we can say your faction score is too low, but I think it's a bit brutal. Okay, I don't know. We will find a better message, but basically this is the message, right? So now if we redo it, I have no idea what faction score my character has, but I hope he doesn't have a lot in applied knowledge. My character is 147. Character factions. Yeah, everything is no. Let's go everything. Let's put everything below 50, right? So I think it's the applied knowledge. I think is 5, so it's probably this one. Okay, let's start again, and let's see. I think having one script per faction is reasonable. And the item determine, now the fact that the item is determining the faction is a bit annoying, but I think yeah, it's kind of annoying. I mean, it's annoying unless it's on the, yeah. I mean, it is a good test, but I don't think that what I'm doing is correct. I think what I'm doing is just a prototype, right? Just a prototype, but it's not really. I think the script didn't load, most likely. Yeah. Couldn't load script. Couldn't load script. Parse error in mad expression. Environment target string missing. Because I need to use the other. I think I need to use the other quotes. Yeah, I need to use the other quotes. I think I need to use these quotes. I think these quotes will do. I mean, it is a bit experimental. It's a bit experimental stuff, guys. Okay, so it's not that I'm really doing the thing. I'm experimenting a bit of what is possible. I think that having this faction, I think the first problem, you know, is this change that we did. That we added. The script can use. We added it to the item stats and not to the item instance, and I think that that's not a good idea because yeah. Because this basically does not allow us to set this value dynamically in the game and persist it. So we didn't get the message though. What? Less than one. What? It opened, but it should not. It should not have opened. Applied knowledge. I have less than 10. I have like 5 or so, right? So I have like 5 in applied knowledge. So why is this one? I have 5 in applied knowledge, right? I have 5. So we said if the target faction applied knowledge plus amount, this plus amount, sorry, I overlooked it. But anyway, there is no amount variable, so it will be 0. Is less than 50. Then we do this and we send this message. Otherwise, we do. So I think that this check is not working. I think this check is not working. Why? In theory, that happens on PS character. That happens on PS character. There is something like get properties or get. There is a get variables. No, get. I think it was like get properties. Huh? Get property. Yeah, exactly. Get property, right? So in this get property, there should be faction. No. I don't see it. Maybe I passed it. Get property. In the current block, faction. No. But if he... Then we're... In case we're on 0, 0 is less than 50. But anyway, at the moment there is no... No, but it's impossible. Wait. Target get... actor. I think target get faction probably is not gonna do it. I don't know, I can put here a breakpoint and see if when I do this it goes there. No, it doesn't. Target. First of all, we need to call this actor. Second of all, we need to remove amount. But I don't understand this property. I mean, if it's not on PS character, where is it? It must be here. That is very, very strange. I can search it everywhere, but... no. 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 Parse ops. No. No, 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 no. What the fuck? Don't understand. That how can this work then? Give faction level. I think this was a test, probably. Give quest level. Let me check. No, but he's using target faction actually. He's using target faction, but that thing is not gonna work, I tell you. Okay. Okay. Let's do it again with the changes that we made to the script so that we are using actor. I want to see if it's going through, because at the moment I mean, unless there is something like maybe there is something like target faction, but I don't think so. No, in fact, you cannot find it. I can search again, but I don't think you can find. No, I cannot find it. But I'm a bit surprised that this is not working, because if this is not working, then how do we assign? Because at the moment we are actually assigning give quest faction level. I think it is actually used in game. Wait a second. That is the dummy database. Let me go 1 second in production database, because I'm starting to be a bit scared that we have another bug, right? So that thing is not progression event. Progression event were named like faction. No, it's the same. It's the same also in production. have no idea what is this. I don't remember it. I don't remember doing this myself, so this seems that give quest faction level, give quest faction. If target faction plus amount is less than 200, then faction target. I think we are using probably only this one. Next rank level. I don't remember what is this, guys. Maybe it was done a few years back, but well, I'm pretty sure that we are using this give quest faction. Like if I go inside a quest, right? If I go in quest scripts, right, and I check where script like this, yeah, you see, we have a number of them. So we are actually giving, yeah, quest faction and quest faction level, right? So those scripts are actually run. Those scripts are actually run. Let me ask to someone. I don't understand what is this rank level. So, so what the script is doing? Let's try to analyze it a second. But I'm really confused. So this seems to define rank level 0, next rank level 10. If rank equal to 1, if rank equal, so when we are assigning, we say like assign faction essential trail 1, right? Faction essential trail 1. Faction essential trail 1. So we say, so 1 will be this parameter here, right? This is the faction name, that is the 1, right? So this thing is saying if the rank is 1, right, your rank level should be 10 and your next rank level is 20. Okay. So we are saying if the faction is less than the rank, because this was when we had the linkage between, the reputation and the title, right? But I don't think we want this anymore in this form. Because it seems that if you don't have enough reputation score, right, it's not assigning you the next rank level. So if your faction is if your current faction is less, there is a less, it's just an H in XML, less than the rank level, right, which in our case would be 10. Then we say faction value rank level minus target faction. What the fuck is this thing doing? If the target faction plus increment is less than the next rank level, target faction plus the increment is less than the next. Okay, so basically I'm still within that rank. Then I assign the faction points. Yeah, so if I'm still between 10 and 20, is basically adding the 5, right? Is adding the 5. If not, if the target function is different than 5, and the target function is different than 15 and different than 30, even we just increment. Otherwise we say your faction cannot improve until you gain the next rank promotion. Nah, that is I think there is an old script which is unfortunately still in game, but I think it doesn't make any sense. I think this doesn't make any sense. I think give quest faction level. Give quest faction level. But actually, no, because the title, the faction title is actually a different script, right? This is working on faction level, so this is working on faction points. So I don't understand what is all this logic. Like that it doesn't allow. No, I don't understand. I don't understand. Hello, Gotze. Hey, how are you? I don't understand how this relates to, because at the end is assigning reputation. That is faction reputation, while this one is faction title. Okay, so this one is not working on title, is working on reputation, and this simple script is just assigning a value, whatever it is, which is nice. But this one seems to have all this logic, this weird logic of staying within your rank. And if you don't, your faction cannot improve until you gain your next rank promotion. What the fuck? We don't have a rank promotion on the faction in the game. I don't understand. And anyway, this target faction at the moment is doing nothing. That is really not working. That is really not. Bra. It's not working because it's missing the thing. It's missing the option. We are not extracting faction in any way. We are not. Yeah, the event is a bit late tonight. The event is in what, 1 hour from now. We have an event in game if you want to participate. We have an event in game every Saturday, by the way, because Uajet is running that. So if you want to join, you can just download the game and go. It's an event that is run by a real game master, like a person, not a bot, not an AI. And yeah. As in game. If you want, you can go. So the value is 0. Okay, so now you don't have permission for from the faction to open this item. Or we can say you don't have, I don't know, the text is a bit weird, but we can say you don't have, you cannot you cannot access due to your, you cannot access due to your faction reputation or something like that. Cannot access, but anyway, we can change it at any time, right? So there is a script that we can change at any time because it's on the database, so we can change it at every server restart. I can change the text. It's not an issue. So this one now seems to be work fine. The problem is that I think this actor faction is really not doing anything at the moment because character, which is this, right, is not returning the faction. So but it's not going there. Where is it? Where is it going to read to do actor target, to do actor because actor is me, right? And we are doing actor faction, so maybe he's considering it as a function. Maybe it's a function, huh? Wait a second. Maybe it's a function. Because I think we have a get property. Yeah, we have a get property. Still, I'm very surprised. I mean, in theory, we can debug it. In theory, we can debug it. Bro, why we don't find Are we going through this? I don't think we are going through this. Are we going through this? No, I don't think we're going through this. No. For sure we're not going through this. It's not this. It is inside quest, so it cannot be. Progression script, create faction title. No, this is the no, it's not this. It's not this. It's not this. Reward is not this. Bro. Okay. For example, caster active spell counts, right? This is a freaking function that I must find. Okay. So it's inside functions. Okay, it's inside functions. Okay. Function F function. Oh. I think that's it. I think that's the mess up, that I did a substitution and I substituted also the the string. And so now, yeah, this is what we are trying to call, but it's failing because I did a wrong substitution. 100%. Exactly. There is the mistake, boys. It was an F faction mass replace that fucked up this line. Okay, fine. Good we found it. I mean, a pity that it happened, but good we found it. So... okay, so now we will get the proper faction value. So I think that now if I set my character to have a value of 55, for example, right? A value of 55, and we will run through this. I think it will work. So it will open up the container. So basically what we did, just to summarize what we did, right? we also have this piece to do, which is the minimum faction of the object, right? That would be very nice to expose. At the moment it's not exposed, but it's easy to expose. It's easy to expose because we can now, I don't know if we have that. This will be in PS item. In PS item we have something pretty much the same as that we have on characters. So there is a get property. Right? Get property, exactly. And inside of this we have all the properties that we can read from an item through our scripting language, right? And so for me it would be just as easy as adding here a new line with minimum faction, right? With minimum faction. And this will return, and we have it for sure. We have a get minimum faction, whatever. Exactly. So they will be as easy as this, actually. It would be as easy as this to support, you know, this in the scripting, the extraction of the minimum faction for the item. So that's that is fine. Sorry, I was checking something else. So that is fine. So now, if we... Okay, let's try to open it with 55 faction score and see if that is actually working, okay? And maybe we can already place one in the in the observatory, right? Okay, yeah, we have the break point. What the hell is going on? Yeah, because when our character is loading, I get, yeah, it's timed out already. When our character is loading, we do a lot of that. No, I have to remove it otherwise. Anyway, we will get 55 and it will open up, right? I mean, we can test it, but I'm pretty sure it will. So if I now put this here, well, or even here, better, right? Exactly. Faction name, applied knowledge, exactly. And the result, I don't know what will be, but it will be 55 and the thing will open, right? And the thing will open. Okay, so the technique pretty much works. We can add the minimum faction. Now this object, I don't think he has a minimum faction. And I don't think that at the moment we can set the minimum faction on it. I think we cannot. In these variables we don't have the minimum faction, but I think we can set it. I think we can add the minimum faction here. Okay, but okay, so this was a good thing. So we can do what we have proven, right? What we have proven is that we can associate a script to a container to force, to enforce a certain condition to actually open and look at its content, right? Which is good. And this at the moment is dynamic enough. The big issue is that the big issue at the moment is that the script is set on the item stats. And I think that's pretty much is a no-go. I think it's a stupid idea. I don't know why I decided to do it this way. But I think I decided to do it this way because there was this empty, you know, this empty field, and we said let's just reuse it. But it's the wrong. I mean, it's in the wrong place because like this it works, but it means that I have to I have to create a new item stats for every item and every faction, right? So if I have a fountain of healing, right? If I have a fountain of healing only in one faction, then it's okay because I only create one item. I create one item stats. I will rig it to that particular script, right? Which is on Crystal Way, for example, Crystal Faction, and it will work. But if I want to reuse the faction of healing, the fountain of healing, right, in 5 different factions, then I will have to create 5 item stats. And it seems to be a bit stupid, right? That I have to create 5 item stats. Just for, I mean, I can do it, but I can do it. I can do it. I can do it. I mean, it's not it's not that we are limited, you know, on the number of item stats that we can use, right? We can use as many as we want, but I remember that item stats is not dynamic, right? So this basically we are limiting ourselves to how much dynamic the system can be. So if I move that field, right, to item instances, and it's true that item instances already has a bunch of stuff, and item instances is a heavy table. So he has 1,800,000 objects at the moment in the database, right? So because it is all the stuff that you guys create and own and generate and stuff. So what is a bit weird is that, well, not weird, but what is a bit strange is that we have like the equip scripts, we have them, the equip and the consume, yeah, the consume scripts is here, right? The consume script is here. The equip is not here. No, because the equip script is on character. It's on character. It's not on item. But okay, anyway. No, I'm trying to understand, you know, what should be instance based and what should be part of the base item, right? At the moment, it's not very clear to me for these new features that we are adding. Because like these are really the physical properties of the object, right? So how much damage it does, how much is resisting to damage, what is the mesh, so basically how does it look, you know, what is the icon. So I think that these things are, in which category is it, what is the price. So this is all very, very core stuff, right? Which is physical properties of our item, right? But for example, creative definition, right, which is the content of a book, is here, but it's also on the instance, right? So that is one of those attributes that we decided, oh yes, we have it on the item stats because if you want, we can create an item that is a book, is a standard book, but we can also override it on the specific instance, right? We can override it on the specific instance. And max charges is pretty much the same because we have a max charges on item stats and we have charges on on item. They say the difference is that the stats keeps the total in this case of the charges, while item instance is keeping how many are left. So you can have a total of 10 and 7 charges left, right? So that is what this thing is doing. This is what this thing is doing. So it's basically the override of the base stats. Now, what I'm thinking is, if we want to have a script like the one that we just said, that is a can open script, would you place it on the base stats, or you would place it on the instance? The difference is that if you put it here on the instance, there is no definition, right? There is no definition on the base item stats, and you have to set it. You have to set it for each one, right? And for example, it means that if a shop owner is selling you something, by default, it will not have it. Right? By default, it will not have it unless we set it on the instance on the shopkeeper through the web console. I don't know. I'm a bit mixed because what I did actually works, right? So I'm not complaining about it. It actually works. So if I want to put now a bookshelf in a guild house that can be accessed only by someone that has a certain faction score, it actually works, right? It will not open up if you don't have that score. But what I need to do, I need to create a specific item stats for that item. I need to create a specific script for that faction, which can be, yes, one per faction. And then, yeah, the only thing that we are missing at the moment is to read, but I can do it, is to read the actual item value. You see here we don't read the item value, right? But it's actually very easy now because we have the item and we extended now the faction, which we the properties. We said it is called min faction, right? And so this one will read the minimum faction of that object. We don't have a way at the moment to set it on the object, so I need to extend this. I need to extend this panel to set the minimum faction. Which is a bit weird because it's just for a very specific case. It's for a very specific case, right? So I don't know if I want to pollute this thing with, because that looks like a fundamental. It's like if yeah, exactly. I think I can just set it, you know, by a command. We have a modify command which is fairly powerful already. And I think I can just modify modify target area type range. I think I can just extend this command, you know, without putting it in this window, because I think it will be very confusing to see a minimum faction here and you don't understand what the hell you are using it for, right? So I don't understand too much why. For example, here you cannot change the quality, right? No, you cannot. You can change all the flags, but you cannot change the lock strength, for example. You cannot change the... You can change the lock skill, but you cannot change the lock strength. Why you cannot change the lock strength? That's fairly stupid. You cannot change the lock strength. I mean, now we have it here on this window, so maybe it's less needed, right? But I would like to add the minimum faction, so I think I will add the minimum faction to this command, actually. Attribute list, pickable and key and attribute list. Peekable, unpeekable, trend. Well, why they are all doubled? I don't know. I don't know why they are all double, actually. So how do I extend that command? Well, I think that I can extend it here. Peak level. Peak level? Ah, peak level is peak strength. Ah, okay. Yeah. So peak strength, actually, you can. Yeah, peak level you can. Range, move, peak skill. Sub command, yeah. Okay, so I think we can extend it here, and we can put a new mean faction. Or faction? No, minimum faction. I think minimum faction seems to be better. And now I need a new variable. Yeah, I need a new variable because all this stuff is stored in variables, right? Inside yeah. Yeah. So we will set this to minimum faction, and so we can do the test and see if the only point is that we need to convert it, so it will be this. Yeah. It will be this. We need to convert it to integer. We need to convert it to integer. And here we will have our minimum faction, right? And then when we run modify item, which I assume is a fairly complex command, but update sibling spawn points. GG. No idea what is that. Range. Yeah. Big skill full modify. I don't think we need a full modify for this. I don't think we need a full. Do we need basically full modify allows only developers to. Okay. Maybe let's keep it with the developers flag, right? So this will be mean faction, right? Subcommand mean faction. So we don't need any of this. We just need to set, you know, there is no if then else whatever. We don't need any of this. We just need to set the minimum faction. Do we have a set function? Maybe we don't, huh? We don't. We cannot set a minimum faction. What do you mean? What do you mean? Minimum faction. Uh-huh. Fine. GG. That's it. Only on load. Okay, so we don't we don't have anything. Okay. Okay. Well, we have a get at least, but we don't have a set. Well, now we have. I mean, maybe I can check that it's not negative. No, but it can be negative. Yeah, it can be negative. Yeah, it can. Why not? GG. Doesn't want to. Please. Please, Visual Studio, you can do it. I know, I believe in you. It's mean faction, but anyway, I wanted him to realize, but doesn't realize. Okay. He doesn't realize, and so I'm doing it this way. Okay, so now we should be able to set, in theory, if I did everything right. I don't know about the documentation, like the documentation. I mean the help stuff, right? So I never fully understood how this works. How does he know? I don't know. How can he list all these things? Ah, because he's here. Okay. Can we have peak level and peak skill next to each other? Because this is exactly, you know, they are working together. Okay. So we added minimum faction there. Give me a second, I need to go to the bathroom. I will also need to think about my dinner, guys. Yeah, I need to think about my dinner. I just, yeah. Give me a second. Okay, I'm back. I went to the bathroom and started to cook my dinner. One failed. No, it didn't fail. So I think the way we did it now is reasonable. It's definitely not the best, but it's reasonable. So we will have to create one item stat for each of the main object we want to place in factions. And so for example, if we have bookshelves, if we have bookshelves, let me think about it 1 second. Yeah, the minimum faction is set dynamically on the object and is saved on the instance. So in theory we can have multiple bookshelves that can be accessed with different different faction score, which is very nice. I will just need to have Yeah, I just need to have one faction, one item stats for the bookshelf, only one, but it needs to be for each faction. So yeah, that's a kind of that's the annoying piece, right? Because we did it on item stats. If I move, yeah, probably at the end I'm gonna do it. At the end, I'm probably gonna or move or duplicate, you know, duplicate the can open script on item instances. I think I'm gonna do it because it's so much powerful, right? Because then I can have only one item stat, which is called container. And then I can script the faction as as I want. So yeah. Yeah. Fine. Okay, let's see if this works. So the changes that we did, we made dynamic the minimum faction on the item, right? So we are getting this item minimum faction dynamically from the calling C++ code, right? And second, we enabled the modify to actually also set the minimum faction of an item, right? Which is good. I cannot really read the minimum faction of an item. That's kind of annoying. Yeah. Yeah. I think we need it. We will need in the future also to display it, because otherwise, how do I know? I think /info can type that. Maybe. Don't know. Guys, there is an event starting in game in about 20 minutes or 25 minutes. If you go on our website, you click on events, you will see yeah, this why it doesn't show my Unreal Engine one. Interesting. I think I said it wrong. Okay, fine. So there is this event in game today in about 16 minutes. So I don't know if you have the game, but you can download it and you can register an account and everything, and then you can connect to the game. There is an event run by a game master, Uajet, and if you want to participate, you can. You can. It's starting in 16 minutes from now. Why not? I think I will go after this. I think it was a good change. I think we made good progress. And okay, so let's try to set the minimum faction on this guy, right? So we will set, no, we will modify target minimum faction, let's say 60. Okay. So if I go to 60, considering my faction score is what? My faction score is 55, right? I should not be able to open it, right? I think we can remove this now, this breakpoint. Exactly. You don't have permission from the faction to open this item, right? So you cannot open it, right? But if I set the minimum faction to 50, right? Now I can open it. Ah, pretty good, huh? Pretty good. Pretty good. Yeah, so, yeah, the only thing that we are missing, I think, is displaying. I think in the info, we could display the minimum faction score. which I don't know if is really important, but could be nice. So in /info, right? /info is divided between items and characters. So for items, can we organize this a bit better? Let me see. Because info at the moment is saying item faction chest with item stats ID 170, item ID 12204, EID 12204. At region, position, angle, and sector and instance. So I think I would like to split this in 3 lines because I think there is no reason why this should be 1 line only. I think it's pretty confusing. I think up to here is 1 line, right? And I don't remember if I can do lines this way in, yeah, but I think I can. So it is 1 line. Item ID, sorry, no, that is 1 line, right? That is 1 line. And then we have is at region, blah, 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 angle, sector. I mean, all of this is basically is position, right? And I think that this position can stay actor and instance, right? Okay. Then we have what? Then we have the flags. Okay, the flags are printed separately, which is okay. These are all the flags. Which is really a separate message. Ah, okay, it's really a separate message. Fine. But I think I would like to have here my minimum faction. And maybe also the lock picking if it's, well, if it's applicable though. I think minimum faction is applicable always. You know what I can do? I can do something like if, you know, yeah, let's do that. If the minimum faction is different than 0, then we print it out, otherwise we don't. So we only print it if it's relevant, actually. Can we make this something more reasonable? Wait a sec, I don't know what I did. So let's say if lock strength greater than 0, then print it, and then I will do if min faction is greater than 0, then print it. So we add a bit more data. Is there anything else I need? Quality and crafted well, this you can see easily, but I think maybe if he's attackable we print the HP. I don't know. Nah, it's not very needed. It's not really needed. This is all stuff that we can read there. So if the log strength is greater than 0, so we'd say if here we are inside the item, or no, we have to say item get log strength, right? It's greater than 0. Then info append blah blah blah. Info append lock strength percentage D and we put item lock strength, right? And yeah, and then we do the same, right? We do the same for the minimum faction. So we say item get minimum faction if is different than 0, because it can be negative. If it's different than 0, then we say minimum faction %d, and we get the minimum faction. Okay, yeah, so I think like this is yeah, it's better. I think like this is better. This is better, my friends. Okay. Okay, let's try this way. I think I can avoid the debug mode. Hopefully it doesn't crash. So we did some good improvements here and there. I like the fact that, you know, I have full control on the source code, right? So we can change whatever we want whenever we want, right? It's not that we bought a piece from someone and we have a library from someone else that is locked that we cannot change. You know, we can modify whatever we want in this game, which is fantastic. I mean, yes, there is a real engine, obviously, so we are limited to the... But in terms of the logic, right? Of the logic of the database, of whatever, we can modify all we want at any time, right? Which is really, really, really fun, I would say. Just really, really fun. Why I have one bracelet or one collar? Because the other doesn't update the... Yeah, I know why actually. But in game is correct, but on the loading screen is not, because there is a weird replication on the second bracelet that I had to code. And now this search for this search for traps. This search for traps is a bit weird. I don't know if we should have it all the time, but fine. So what are we testing now? I know we are testing the info. We are testing the info. Oh, by the way, my dinner is ready. Instant zeros flag transient. Okay, so if I set the minimum faction was not saved, by the way. What? Modify target min faction 50 /info. It seems that it was not saved, huh? Because you see that now minimum faction 50. Yeah, it was not saved. It was not saved. Just a second, my oven is calling me. Yeah, we need to we actually need to save it, because yeah, we need to save it. We didn't. Yeah, strange though. Yeah, but it displays correctly. It displays correctly, so we can see it. It just didn't save. Okay, I need to understand why. Okay, guys, I think that's all I wanted to do today, and I'm gonna go. I will not be back today. I will be back tomorrow. I think we streamed anyway decent amount of hours, 3 hours and 20, just to show you a bit what I'm doing and such. So I mean, yeah, and to make some progress. I think we made good progress. I think 3 hours is usually a good time to finish something, right? To have a piece done. I really need to think if I want to move those properties to the item instances. But we will think about it tomorrow. So tomorrow I will be here in the afternoon about 4 p.m. European time. And if you want to go to the event, it's starting in 4 minutes. So I think you should go. I will say bye-bye and I will see you tomorrow, right? Remember that next week I will not be streaming because I'm traveling, just in case. Okay. So with that, I will say bye-bye. And if you want to click on follow on Twitch and subscribe on YouTube, that's a good idea. It will help us. And also, if you want to do a bit more, we have a Patreon site, which is patreon.com/planeshift, where you can, you can pledge and become a Patreon. Hello, Rob. Sorry, I didn't say hi, but hello. Hello. I'm going. Bye-bye. Bye.